Do you ever feel uneasy when someone gives you off-putting praise? Perhaps you believe someone is overly passionate about your tragedy. In today's world, navigating envy and falsehood can be tricky. But don't worry, Stoicism's wisdom provides a way forward. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic figure, reminds us, "It is not what happens to you that upsets you, but your judgment of what happens." By honing our judgment and understanding the subtle signs of envy and deceit, we can cultivate healthier, more fulfilling relationships. This video delves into 13 Stoic concepts, preparing you to discern jealousy and deceit with clarity. We'll look at how to tell the difference between real praise and disguised insults, as well as how to recognize individuals who propagate lies. So, if you're ready to strengthen your emotional resilience and develop a keener sense of authenticity, subscribe now and join us on this Stoic adventure. Number 1. The barbed compliment. Stoicism, a philosophical school emphasizing reason, virtue, and clear communication, highly values open and honest language. Seneca, a renowned Roman Stoic, says, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient." On the other hand, traversing the social environment can sometimes feel like visiting a bazaar brimming with veiled insults disguised as praise. Envious people may use a strategy that is similar to the Socratic sting, in which they make comments that appear to be pleasant but include a concealed undercurrent of their negative feelings. Imagine a buddy writing you a letter of congratulations on a promotion and saying, "That promotion was lucky, but you'll do great." Even though it appears to be celebratory at first glance, a deeper inspection shows a covert attempt to minimize your accomplishment. There is an indication that your success was not necessarily the result of your hard work or abilities, but rather a stroke of good fortune. These backhanded compliments, in contrast to genuine expressions of gratitude, produce a sensation of discomfort that lingers for a relatively long time. According to the Stoic philosophy, genuine praise is specific and congratulates your achievements without reservation. In addition to promoting a sense of pride and confidence, they are uplifting and inspiring. To cultivate good relationships, it is essential to have the capacity to differentiate between genuine compliments and hidden criticisms made by others. We may learn to discern the subtle signs that indicate the genuine purpose behind someone's words by drawing upon Stoicism's wisdom and improving our observation abilities. Egypt developed the philosophical school of thought known as Stoicism. Does the way they carry themselves correspond with the praise they give? Does the compliment come across as genuine and emotional, or does it come off as empty and generic? We can traverse the social scene with better judgment and protect ourselves from individuals who may conceal jealousy under a mask of friendliness if we approach the social environment with these questions and use Stoic reason. Number 2. Selective support. The Stoic philosophy places a high premium on consistency and steadfast support in interpersonal relationships. Marcus Aurelius, a famous Stoic thinker and Roman emperor, emphasized the significance of acting for the common good, which encompasses cultivating healthy and supportive relationships with other people. In the same way that the Stoics envisioned their friends, genuine friends are a continual source of encouragement and celebrate your accomplishments, no matter how great or tiny they may be. They stick by your side, offering a steady hand during challenging times and genuinely celebrating your victories. On the other hand, negotiating the complexity of human connections can occasionally expose individuals who provide selective support, with their allegiance varying depending on the circumstances. These folks, frequently motivated by jealousy, will be excited about your accomplishments if they raise their position or reflect favorably on them. On the other hand, when confronted with your difficulties, they may vanish or minimize your challenges. Their assistance hinges on maintaining a specific image or social dynamic rather than a genuine commitment to your well-being, which requires revision. Imagine having a buddy overjoyed about your promotion with a pay boost or a status increase, but turns curiously aloof when you confide in them about the tough job or the long hours. In contrast to the unwavering loyalty that Stoicism promotes, this selective support poses a severe warning sign. True friends also upheld this belief, just as the Stoics believed in the importance of virtue and acting with integrity. They assist not out of a desire for personal gain or social posturing, but of genuine concern for your well-being. We can create healthier and more gratifying relationships if we know the characteristics that define selective support. The Stoic emphasis on reason allows us to recognize patterns in our connections with other people. Does a friend's passion for you change depending on the circumstances that you are going through? They are there to rejoice in your successes, but disappear during difficult times. By exercising Stoic judgment, we can recognize those individuals who exemplify the genuine essence of friendship. These individuals provide unflinching support and cultivate a sense of security and trust within our social networks. Number 3, the body betrays. The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals, not under my control, and which have to do with the choices I control. Epictetus, an advocate of self-awareness and a founding figure in Stoicism, tells us, people credit Epictetus as the founder of Stoicism. Even though we cannot influence the behaviors or feelings of other people, the Stoics felt that it was essential to have a strong sense of self-awareness and the capacity to interpret non-verbal clues. Non-verbal cues, also known as body language, can effectively reveal hidden emotions, mainly when they contradict spoken words. Consider a situation in which someone congratulates you on a recent accomplishment. Even though they attempt to grin, their lips tighten, and their posture remains rigid. Their words indicate passion and appreciation. Their handshake may be weak or brief, and it does not express the warmth that their words imply. This incongruence between verbal and non-verbal communication can be a warning sign, a subtle betrayal indicating underlying feelings that may not be entirely favorable. We recommend that you consider this. For instance, body language may not immediately convey envy. Even though someone may express their congratulations vocally, their body language may convey a different message. The Stoics strongly emphasized reason and evaluation, encouraging us to concentrate on the factors under our control. At this point, we cannot influence the concealed feelings or intentions of the other individual. On the other hand, we can influence our own emotions and perceptions. We can approach the situation with a healthy dose of skepticism and avoid taking their compliments at their value if we can see the incongruence between their words and body language. Stoicism encourages us to cultivate our observational skills and enhance our emotional intelligence. We can get significant insights into the fundamental nature of interactions by paying attention to nonverbal signs and learning how to interpret them within the context of the scenario. Thanks to this discernment, we can manage social interactions with a higher awareness, enabling us to recognize possible jealousy or dishonesty that could otherwise go unreported. Number 4. The poisons of comparison. The Stoic philosophy strongly emphasizes the significance of accepting events beyond our control and concentrating on developing a sense of inner happiness. We are more bothered by fantasy than by reality. Seneca, a renowned Roman Stoic, cautions us. We are astounded by reality. This advice is especially pertinent when considering the corrosive consequences of comparison, a poisonous mixture frequently churned up by jealousy. Jealousy can drive individuals to continuously compare themselves to others, praise their triumphs only to later discount them, or resort to self-aggrandizement by inflating their accomplishments. Imagine a close friend who is overjoyed to congratulate you on a recent honor you've received. On the other hand, their ensuing exchanges are replete with veiled jabs at the value of the prize, or references to their accomplishments that are comparable but somewhat exaggerated. This pattern of conduct exemplifies the poisons of comparison, a relentless pursuit of external validation that ultimately undermines your sense of accomplishment and the potential for meaningful connections. According to the Stoic philosophy, true friends can rejoice in each other's achievements without experiencing feelings of inferiority. They know that each individual's path is one of a kind, and that accomplishments, whether great or small, deserve recognition and appreciation. By cultivating Stoic contentment, we can discover fulfillment in our growth and development by concentrating on the here and now and the work we put into our pursuits. This sensation of inner serenity is a potent antidote to the poisons caused by comparison. When we celebrate our adventures and the experiences of others, we cultivate a sense of camaraderie and shared accomplishment. This helps us replace feelings of jealousy with emotions of factual support. Stoics believed that connecting our actions with virtue and living a purposeful life can achieve genuine pleasure from within. We become less susceptible to the manipulative strategies of people who aim to undermine our accomplishments through comparison when we concentrate on the factors within our control, such as our thoughts, actions, and emotions. The alternative is that we work on developing a sense of self-worth that enables us to rejoice in the achievements of others without experiencing feelings of inferiority or envy. The practice of Stoicism gives us the ability to construct connections that are more robust and significant, based on mutual respect and admiration for one another. Number 5. The seeds of discord. Stoicism, a philosophy based on reason, virtue, and emotional perseverance, offers significant guidance for navigating the complexities of human relationships. One of Stoicism's fundamental principles is the idea of the duality of control, which reminds us to differentiate between things that are under our control and those that are outside our control. Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic figures, highlights this notion by stating, "Freedom is the power to choose." We find this freedom in the ability to choose how we respond to the reality around us, not in trying to control the actions or words of others. Those who enjoy spreading rumors or negativity frequently struggle with insecurity or jealousy. Their preoccupation with negativity, often due to these underlying feelings, can potentially be a devastating factor in such relationships. They may try to set you apart by spreading rumors or drawing attention to imperfections they detect in you. This will create a sense of division and undermine trust among your social groups. These individuals are unlikely to offer accurate assistance as they prioritize building negative relationships over nurturing positive ones. The Stoics recommend that we surround ourselves with uplifting and inspiring people who celebrate our accomplishments and provide support when we are going through difficult times. We cultivate connections with people who exemplify good attributes to establish supportive and uplifting environments. Directing attention to the suitable components under our control, such as our thoughts, words, and actions, enhances our ability to manage adverse situations more resiliently. Imagine a scenario in which someone spreads rumors about a buddy they both have in common. Based on the Stoic notion of the duality of control, it is essential to recognize that this is an attempt to establish discord. We cannot influence the behavior of the individual spreading stories, but we can determine how we will react to them. Taking a Stoic attitude would entail respectfully declining to participate in the negative discourse and shifting the focus of the discussion to something more positive. By consciously deciding to abstain from gossiping, we safeguard our emotional well-being and prevent ourselves from contributing to the propagation of negativity. Stoic philosophy, in its most fundamental form, provides us with the means to build an atmosphere that is more uplifting and serene. We empower ourselves to negotiate the problems of interpersonal relationships and to develop a social circle that supports our growth and well-being by concentrating on cultivating good connections, making the conscious decision not to participate in negativity, and directing our attention toward paths under our control. Number 6. The Siren Song of Flattery. Reason and discernment are fundamental to the Stoic philosophy, enabling us to traverse everyday social relationships' intricacies successfully. Marcus Aurelius, a notable Stoic scholar and Roman emperor, advises us not to waste more time fighting over what a decent man should be. Even though compliments can be a lovely confirmation, excessive flattery, like a siren's tempting call, can lead us towards the possibility of manipulation. The cultivation of Stoic judgment is the necessary step to navigate this social hurdle successfully. Take, for example, a new co-worker who lavishes you with gushing praise on your job to the point where their remarks appear exaggerated. They may praise your brilliance, referring to you as a genius or a prodigy, without considering the specifics of your achievements or the amount of effort that has gone into them. Those with hidden agendas may use this excessive flattery as a warning sign. They aim to win your trust or take advantage of your kindness. As the Stoics envisioned them, genuine compliments are particular and praise the qualities that you possess that are most admirable. It is possible for an authentic compliment to emphasize a specific ability you demonstrated in your work, or to appreciate the attention and effort you put into a project. The genuine and uplifting nature of these comments helps to cultivate a sense of pride and success in the recipient. To distinguish between genuine praise and manipulative flattery, one must apply Stoic reason. Is this compliment unique and authentic, or general and exaggerated? Does the person praising me appear to have a hidden goal, or do they seem to be genuinely interested in the job that I have done? By utilizing our rational faculties and carefully observing the other individual's actions, we may peel back the layers of flattery and discover the genuine intention beneath their words. Living a good life and acting with integrity were essential tenets of the Stoic philosophy. Therefore, this also applies to the way we connect with other people. We can avoid succumbing to the allure of flattery by implementing these concepts and honing our discernment skills. We can recognize deceptive strategies for what they are while also learning to appreciate genuine praise. As a result, we may build stronger and more meaningful relationships based on authenticity and respect for one another. Number 7. diminishing your light. There is a strong emphasis in the Stoic philosophy on the significance of acknowledging and appreciating one's intrinsic value. Epictetus, a legendary character in the Stoic philosophy, is credited as saying, "It is not that we have a short time to live, rather it is that we waste a lot of it." Life provides ample time and sufficient money for our most significant accomplishments as long as we invest beneficially. Because of this firm conviction in one's values, one can protect oneself against people who would try to minimize the achievements they have achieved. When it comes to relationships, envy may be a subtle yet highly devastating force. Jealousy can drive individuals to employ tactics that minimize their achievements, reducing the pleasure and satisfaction they deserve. They may mitigate your achievements by attributing them to chance, an external influence, or simply the fact that you were at the right place at the right time. As a result of these sneaky attempts to dull your light, you may question your capabilities and the value of the effort you put in. What would it be like to celebrate a promotion with someone you consider a friend? However, they maintain a cynical attitude throughout the celebration. You might hear them say, "Wow, that promotion came out of nowhere. You are fortunate." Despite its apparent lack of significance, this phrase subconsciously reduces your effort to achieve success. The Stoics, on the other hand, advise us to enjoy our achievements and to acknowledge the path that brought us to that point. According to Stoicism, true friends support you by being by your side and celebrating your successes. Not only do they acknowledge the effort and commitment that went into your accomplishments, but they also provide genuine appreciation without any reservations. Their encouragement will instill an incredible sense of achievement and strengthen your confidence in your talents. You will be more effective at recognizing attempts to reduce your light if you are better aware of your inherent value and the work you put into pursuing your goals. Stoicism places such a strong focus on self-awareness, and you can notice these strategies and differentiate between honest feedback and disguised jealousy. It is essential to keep in mind that your accomplishments are a reflection of your commitment and endurance. Make sure no one can take away the pride you have earned through your accomplishments. The Stoic philosophy will provide you with the necessary resources to cultivate a healthy sense of self-worth. You can develop an inner strength unaffected by other people's negativity if you acknowledge the worth that is already there inside you and appreciate the path you have traveled. You can negotiate relationships with better judgment and develop a natural support network that celebrates your potential. Number 8. Broken promises and shifting sands. The Stoic philosophy emphasizes living a virtuous life and conducting oneself honestly. It is important to remember that Marcus Aurelius, a notable Stoic thinker and Roman emperor, once said, "The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately." This fundamental concept is considered in interpersonal interactions, where consistency and trustworthiness are vital for developing solid and long-lasting ties. Individuals who routinely fail to fulfill their commitments or provide feeble justifications for their inappropriate actions might be compared to shifting sands, constituting an untrustworthy basis for constructing a significant connection. Consider a friend who frequently cancels plans at the last minute, offering weak or meaningless justifications. This consistent pattern of unreliability may be a warning sign because it shows a lack of respect for your time and feelings. The Stoics believed that one should live one's life with integrity, meaning one's conduct should be consistent with one's words. If someone frequently fails to keep their obligations, they are indicating that there is a mismatch between their actions and their pledges. One of the most important things you can do to cultivate good relationships is to surround yourself with trustworthy and accountable people. Stoicism was a philosophical school that held that true friends would show their devotion to one another through their actions. They are reliable sources of assistance because they maintain their commitments, show up when they say they will, and keep their promises. Because of their honesty, the connection is characterized by trust and security, which enables you to rely on them and have faith in what they say. To successfully navigate social dynamics, it is essential to possess the capacity to differentiate between actual reliability and hollow promises. The Stoic philosophy encourages us to notice the patterns in our interactions. Are you a friend who regularly fails to show up for plans? Do you find their justifications to be insincere or self-serving? Through the use of Stoic reason and judgment, we can recognize those who exemplify the characteristics of integrity and trustworthiness. These people are responsible for establishing solid and trustworthy relationships, which in turn helps cultivate a sense of stability and security within our social circles. Remembering that the future is not knowable, our actions in the here and now can mold our connections. Because we have consciously decided to surround ourselves with people who exhibit Stoic integrity, we have established a foundation of trust and dependability. As a result, we are more equipped to handle the complexity of social situations and create sincere bonds that will last a lifetime. Number 9. The needy heart. Stoicism is a philosophical school that strongly emphasizes cultivating emotional independence and self-reliance. Stoicism is characterized by its emphasis on reason, virtue, and emotional resilience. Seneca, one of the most influential Roman Stoics, is credited with saying, "How much more grievous are the things we fear than those we suffer." This knowledge is pertinent when considering the intricacies of relationships and the possible perils of emotional reliance. It is common for people who continuously look for affirmation from others to struggle with underlying difficulties related to their self-esteem. Because of their susceptibility, they are highly prone to manipulation by others who take advantage of their desire for acceptance from others. Consider the presence of a member of your social circle who needs continuous reassurance and praise. Their pleasure appears to depend upon other people's opinions, and in order to develop a favorable image, they may resort to lying or even covert manipulation. It is possible for this unquenchable need for approval to be emotionally taxing, which can ultimately result in a feeling of inauthenticity within the relationship. Authentic friends, as envisioned by the Stoics, value your genuineness and rejoice in your uniqueness. They acknowledge your innate value and appreciate the distinctive viewpoint you bring, which helps cultivate acceptance and safety. You will become less receptive to the manipulative strategies employed by people who are always seeking approval if you work on developing your emotional independence and sense of self-worth. Stoicism strongly focuses on self-awareness, allowing you to recognize your emotional requirements. Do you find that you are always looking for validation from other people? To what extent do other people's views influence your self-worth? By recognizing these patterns, you may develop inner strength and self-reliance. Stoicism teaches us that all happiness comes from within, and we can achieve it by living a life of virtue and guiding our actions by our core beliefs. Focusing on our personal growth and development can reduce our dependence on external validation for our sense of self-worth. This emotional autonomy enables us to negotiate relationships with more judgment and construct partnerships founded on genuine admiration and mutual respect for one another. Remember that we often possess the inner strength to weather life's storms. Studying Stoic philosophy will equip you with the necessary tools to cultivate emotional resilience and self-reliance. Cultivating your inner strength and embracing your individuality will make you less susceptible to manipulation and enable you to build deeper, more meaningful relationships based on mutual respect and authenticity. Number 10. The Whispers of Intuition. Stoicism is a philosophical school emphasizing the value of reason, virtue, and emotional intelligence. Stoicism recognizes the significance of logic and intuition in navigating the complexity of social life. The Stoics, while emphasizing reason, also recognize the importance of intuition, also known as gut feeling. Epictetus, a prominent figure in Stoic philosophy, famously said, "The greatest danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it, but that it is too low and we reach it." This remark emphasizes the significance of setting lofty objectives for ourselves and being aware of circumstances that may not benefit us. When it comes to the process of discernment, intuition, which is a push from the inside that is frequently subtle, may be a significant tool. Try to picture yourself meeting a new person who lavishes you with compliments, yet still manages to leave you feeling uneasy. Even though their words may be encouraging, a persistent nagging sense remains, a subconscious understanding of the possibility of a mismatch. If you choose to disregard this intuition, you may end up missing warning signs. As a means of arriving at well-informed choices, the Stoics advocated using both reason and intuition. It is possible to make well-considered decisions about the individuals you choose to devote your time and energy to if you apply Stoic reasoning and put your faith in your instincts. You can incorporate both of these characteristics in your decision-making process. Recognize your intuition. First and foremost, you need to acknowledge your intuition. When dealing with someone, paying attention to the early gut emotions you get is essential. Have you ever felt anxious or guarded because of their presence? Investigating uneasiness is necessary, even though it doesn't always indicate impending danger. Put your reasoning to use. Don't ignore your intuition completely. Instead, use your Stoic capacity to reason and objectively analyze the circumstances. Do you find that specific actions or phrases bring on feelings of discomfort at certain times? Please take note of their behaviors and how they correspond with the statements they make. Is there a pattern of inconsistency that might explain the feeling you get in your gut? Ask questions to acquire clarity. An uncomplicated chat might often be the key to gaining insight. Ask them questions and pay attention to how they respond. When addressing your issues, sincere people will be pleased to do so. The Stoics were firm believers in open and honest communication. If their answers seem mysterious or manipulative to you, it may strengthen your initial suspicion. By relying on intuition and using Stoic reasoning, you can develop a powerful type of discernment. You can manage social dynamics with a higher awareness and spot possible concerns your conscious mind may first ignore. Essential intuition is a compass that may lead you to healthy and rewarding relationships. The Stoic reason is the map that will help you navigate social interaction difficulties. You can use both elements to establish a solid foundation for trust and honesty in your relationships. Number 11. Sharing wisdom wisely. However, the Stoic philosophy also emphasizes the virtue of prudence and the power of clear communication. We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. Seneca, a renowned Roman Stoic, warns us. We suffer more from imagination than from reality. When selecting the people with whom we share our thoughts and weaknesses, this wisdom emphasizes the significance of discretion. When we communicate without caution, we expose ourselves to the risk of manipulation, even with confident people. Imagine yourself going through a difficult time in your personal life and confiding in someone who appears to be helpful. After some time has passed, however, you recognize that they have been spreading rumors about your circumstances, exaggerating the specifics, or even exploiting your vulnerability against you. This example highlights the significance of Stoic discretion, which is the capacity to choose what knowledge we share and with whom we share it. If you practice Stoic caution, you can defend yourself against people who may take advantage of your trust for their benefit, or from those who battle with jealousy. If you share sensitive information with others who display evidence of dishonesty or jealousy, you may feel exposed and your reputation may suffer. The Stoics believed that genuine connections and righteous actions could foster trust. Genuine friends, according to Stoicism's conception, are those who gain your confidence through their deeds and provide support without passing judgment. There are several ways to develop Stoic restraint in your speech. Be aware of your audience. Before divulging private information, consider the person you provide it to. In the past, have they shown that they are trustworthy and that they have empathy? Has there been a history of rumors or betrayals in the relationship? By allowing you to weigh options, Stoic reasoning enables you to evaluate the possible dangers and advantages of disclosing sensitive information. Pay attention to the things you have control over. Remember that you only control the words and acts you choose to use. It is not within your power to influence how other people respond to the knowledge you provide or how they decide to use it. When you use discretion, you reduce the likelihood of unfavorable outcomes brought about by circumstances beyond your control. Clarity in communication. When you do decide to reveal anything personal, make sure to articulate yourself in a way that is both clear and easy to understand. Be cautious not to divulge any additional details that could lead to misunderstandings or turn against you. The Stoics place a high value on clear communication, which applies to both the content of your message and the setting in which you deliver it. Stoicism equips you with the skills to handle social situations with more discernment. With prudence and careful selection of confidants, you can shield yourself from unfavorable influences and cultivate trust with people who have demonstrated that they deserve it. Remember, genuine connections are based on honesty and sharing vulnerability. However, by exercising discernment, you can share your vulnerability with those who will value it rather than exploit it. Because of this, you can construct more robust and significant connections founded on proper support and mutual respect. Number 12. Boundaries. Stoicism, a philosophical belief system that emphasizes the significance of reason, virtue, and emotional resilience, strongly emphasizes the need to establish appropriate boundaries to protect one's well-being. Epictetus, one of the most influential figures in Stoic philosophy, reminds us that happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one thing. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. Only when we finally come to terms with this reality will we be able to start finding peace. We can establish boundaries that safeguard our emotional energy and build better relationships due to this fundamental concept, which transfers straight into social interactions. It's possible that interactions with a friend who engages in harmful or manipulative behavior continuously drain you. Their pessimism is a persistent undercurrent in their conversations with you, or they may quietly urge you into situations that make you uncomfortable. Although the Stoics believed in emotional resilience, this does not mean one should sacrifice one's well-being to deal with adverse conditions. By setting boundaries, you can create some distance between yourself and others who are exhausting or manipulative. Avoid those who constantly undermine your emotional security or bring you down. It is acceptable to limit your relationships with them. Create a social group that encourages and supports you rather than isolating yourself from the rest of the world. This is not about separating yourself from the world. Setting limits helps you handle complicated relationships without endangering your safety or well-being, just as the Stoics did when they learned to be emotionally strong in the face of adversity. When it comes to creating boundaries, the following are some ways to put Stoic ideals into practice. Recognize your request. Recognize the first thing you should do is recognize your requirements and deal breakers in relationships. In what ways do your habits sap your energy? How would you describe the type of treatment that you do not accept? A solid grasp of your demands will allow you to communicate your limits effectively. Maintain a respectful and clear communication style. When setting limits, it is essential to ensure that your communication is clear, forceful, and courteous. Please explain how you feel when specific behaviors occur and what changes you anticipate within the partnership. The Stoics placed high importance on open and honest communication, and this idea also applies to the process of setting limits. Continue to remain determined. The process of establishing boundaries is ongoing. Opposition or manipulation may force you to revert to your previous routines. The Stoics strongly emphasized the significance of preserving one's determination and keeping one's core beliefs constant. In situations that violate your limits, you should not be scared to say no or to walk away from the scenario. Create an environment conducive to healthy relationships by establishing boundaries and prioritizing your emotional well-being. By cultivating a feeling of inner strength and equipping you with the tools necessary to manage social encounters with more judgment, the Stoic philosophy can help you develop better social skills. It would be best to remember that limits are not walls that separate you from others. Instead, they are the Stoic shield that safeguards your well-being and enables you to form more profound and meaningful connections. Number 13. Cultivating the garden. The Stoic philosophy strongly emphasizes leading a virtuous life that significantly contributes to the greater good. Marcus Aurelius, a notable Stoic scholar and Roman emperor, advises us not to waste more time fighting over what a decent man should be. The phrase, "be one," applies. This fundamental concept to social relationships, imploring us to establish genuine ties that benefit ourselves and others in our immediate environment. As a gardener tends to a flourishing place, we can construct a social environment that encourages personal development and a sense of accomplishment. Picture yourself in a social circle of people who motivate you to be the best version of yourself. During times of difficulty, they are there to support and celebrate your triumphs, and they exemplify the beautiful traits you respect. According to Stoic philosophy, people's ties with one another are the most effective barrier against the corrosive consequences of jealousy and lies. When you surround yourself with negative people, it may be a continual drain on your energy, while having a supportive social group can be a source of reinforcement and inspiration. By devoting our time and effort to cultivating genuine connections, we create an environment conducive to our personal development. According to Stoicism's conception, true friends serve as mirrors that reflect our strengths and provide constructive feedback when required. They encourage us to become better versions of ourselves while simultaneously honoring the specific paths that each of us has taken. This perfectly matches the Stoic ideal of leading a life of virtue, constantly becoming better and aiming for the highest possible achievement. When it comes to growing your social garden, the Stoic precepts can help lead you in several ways. Authenticity is the cornerstone of genuine connection. Hence, it is essential to plant the seeds of authenticity. Be honest with yourself, your beliefs, and the things that fascinate you. The Stoics believed that living a virtuous life encouraged others to do the same, and this genuineness draws in those who share your values. Relationships require kindness and respect, as a garden requires care and attention. Be courteous, respectful, and empathic toward the people in your immediate environment. The Stoics, who strongly emphasized emotional intelligence, encouraged us to comprehend and consider the viewpoints of others. Celebrating diversity is critical because a thriving garden requires many plant species. Similarly, incorporating a wide range of viewpoints and experiences is beneficial to developing a rich social circle. The Stoics believed that one should live a life that contributes to the common good, and that this involves appreciating the numerous ways in which people might interact. By cultivating genuine connections and surrounding yourself with positive influences, you can create a social environment that promotes your development and the growth and well-being of others in your immediate vicinity. Stoicism provides the necessary skills to build a sense of purpose and fulfillment within your social connections. It is essential to remember that a garden bursting with life is beautiful and filled with abundance, providing a steady harvest of support, inspiration, and shared joy. You may build a flourishing social environment that perfectly aligns with the Stoic goal of living a virtuous life by creating authentic connections with other people. It is essential to remember that identifying jealousy and deception in others allows you to make well-informed decisions in your relationships. By gaining awareness of these warning signs and drawing upon the wisdom of Stoicism, you can build more healthy and rewarding relationships, cultivating a life characterized by virtue, inner strength, and tranquility.